All right, we are back for another episode of the 161 Report series recap. I'm Bobby, that's Kyle. Once again, we have to talk about very unfortunate Yankee series, dropping 2 out of 3 to the Rays, which really they should have swept. They should have gotten swept. We got lucky in the last game, but yeah. How are we feeling, Kyle?
Not too good, man. Not too good.
Yeah, I mean, we really should have. I say this every week, but we should have done this in the beginning of the season. Now we just have to. The vibes are low every episode because we have to talk about this horrible team, the things that frustrate us. Nothing. There may be two good players from the Rays series, two positives that we'll talk about, but everything else, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, man. So I guess we can get right into it. So game one, um, did how'd you feel about that?
Well,
That was
that
that was
was
the that was the 9-0 blowout.
that was our Marwin Gonzalez pitching game. So
Yeah,
that when Marwin Gonzalez is on the mound, that usually doesn't mean anything good. But at least he hit 90 miles an hour. That was probably the biggest takeaway from that game. The best takeaway. He hit 90 on the mound. That was pretty cool.
I think so. I think just to add to the disappointment, I wish Rizzo was healthy in that series. I would
Yeah,
have loved to see Rizzo pitch. That would
yeah.
have been great.
He's been dying to pitch all year.
Yeah.
But yeah, 9-0
Yes.
loss.
Yeah.
Um, that was Herman. Herman pitched that game. He actually didn't pitch bad, not
No.
at all. But I don't know if you've noticed this, but his past, I think it was no, the start against the Mets where he pitched great, but then he gave up the home run to Vogelback, I think.
Yeah.
That's where it kind of like ruined. I mean, he still pitched great, but it ruined his shutout. It was kind of the same thing here. Just let in like a little bit too long, but he
Yeah.
pitched great. Other than that, 6 and 2/3, 2 earned, just a great overall game. He continues to pitch well, which we're very happy to see.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. He's definitely slid into this rotation. He went off to a slow start, but I'm really happy with what we've seen from him so far. And as you said, the 2-run homer, I believe that was Bethencourt who he gave that up to.
Yes.
It was that was I I just knew like as soon as that happened with the offense the way it's going, it hurt.
Yeah. It sucks because like a 2, 3 run lead, whatever it was at the time, like that killed us.
Yeah,
In the beginning of the season, when the Yankees were down 3 runs, we were expecting them to come back and win.
yeah,
Like it wasn't even a thought. If they were down three, it was like, okay, they'll win this game.
yeah,
But now
yeah.
2, 3 runs feels like 10 with this team.
It does, and I'm glad you pointed that out. I definitely wanted to mention that it like is like this whole series. I've noticed that the Yankees were falling behind a lot. Even a 1-run deficit is like it just seems so hard because it's like Judge is the only one producing in this entire
Yeah.
lineup. So yeah, and then to keep going with that game, that's when Donaldson had those 2 errors at third base, and he decided to talk a little bit from the dugout, which he wanted some fastballs, even though he got 3 of them, couldn't do anything with them.
He hasn't hit
Uh,
fastballs all season.
no, and that high fastball, that's all you have to throw to Donaldson, and he strikes out. That's
Yep.
it. To keep going from that, we have Whitesert. He looked good early. His slider is deadly. I
It
absolutely
is.
love that slider. And then of course 3 earned runs later on. Anthony,
That play by him, the dribbler over his head where he
yeah,
threw it, which he should not have thrown, obviously, and then he
yeah,
just threw it like 50 feet to the left of first base.
yeah,
That was a
agreed.
disaster. And then that was
Yeah,
just like the nail in the coffin, like this game's.
yep. Yeah, and then of course, just to make it a little bit worse, Anthony Bonda, who is now DFA'd by the Yankees, he came in absolutely imploded, 3 earned runs against him, and then Marwin, as you said, he pumped 90. He had 0 earned runs. Yeah, and this is also in the ninth inning when Boone decided to pinch hit for Peraza. Talk about setting a rookie up for failure. first at bat, looking to make his major league debut. He put him in. I believe there was two on in the bottom of the ninth, top of the ninth inning. It was just that was such a bonehead move by Boone. Definitely shouldn't have been put in that situation, but here we are.
2 outs, down by 9.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous. Like
yeah,
what good comes out of that?
none.
Nothing, nothing.
Mm,
He can't make an if he gets a single, great. If he hits
yeah,
a home run, great. They're still down by 8 runs. Like
exactly.
like nothing that came out of that at bat would make Peraza feel better. Obviously, like a home run, he would feel great. But
Yeah,
like what the team's still down by 8,
yeah, exactly.
like it makes no sense.
Mm. And this is also another issue that I've had. Game one, we all expected the young kids to get some at bats, you know. And of course, we have Donaldson, IKF, and Glaber all starting over Oswald Praza and Oswaldo Cabrera. That's the biggest issue I've had with that game. I didn't even care that they were down 9-0. The biggest thing that I cared about in that situation was you're a struggling team. All of August, you're terrible. You're trying to get a spark. Why not let the young kids play? They can't be any worse than Donaldson or IKF.
No,
They can't be, or even
not at all.
Torres for that example.
Yeah, our leadoff hitter today on Monday, by the way. But
Ah, yes.
we'll get into that. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's just bonehead move after bonehead move. It seems like this weekend.
yeah,
That's it for
100%.
game one. Anything else? Any other thoughts?
No, no, not really for game one. But heading on to game two, we faced against old friend Corey Kluber. He dominated us. Probably shouldn't have. But here we
That was
are yet
expected
again.
though. I
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah,
especially with the way this team's playing and just like ex-Yankee going facing
yeah.
them, it was just set up perfectly. Yeah,
It
Kluber
was.
pitched 7 innings, 2 hits. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, and then on our side, Clark Schmidt, he went 4 and a third, 4 hits, 2 earned runs with 0 strikeouts.
Yeah. Mm. And didn't he his last start, he set his career high in strikeouts, didn't he? That was
He
the last
did.
start? Yeah.
Yep, he had 7 strikeouts. Yep.
Oh no, he had 2 strikeouts this game.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, he had 2 strikeouts. Either way, it really doesn't do much to help us in this one.
No.
Because of course, offense went completely bare until I believe it was the ninth inning when Aaron Judge tied his rookie home run record. He hit 52. Great to see. I love it.
Yep.
He's on another level.
Yep. But when the pitching only gives up 2 earned runs,
Yeah.
like the Yankees, again, it just goes back to they were down 2-0 up until the last inning, or until the ninth inning. Wasn't that with,
Yeah.
hold on, I just want to see. Was that to
Mhm.
lead off the inning? Judge's home run in the ninth?
No,
Yes, it was. Oh,
that was the third game that
no,
he
no, no,
lead.
no. No, it led off the ninth inning. Like it was the
Gotcha.
first batter. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
no. But even going into that ninth inning, down 2-0, like the best they were going to do was score 1 run because Judge would be the only one to do anything because he,
Yeah.
he was hitting a solo home run, if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just pathetic. Just another
Yeah.
pathetic August. Well, now September. But
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That the game two, it was completely yet again same thing, non-existent from the offense. Aaron Judge is the only one producing.
2 out of the 3
Um,
hits.
exactly. Yeah. It's tough, you know, and that was pretty much it for game two. Wasn't
I
much
do want to give
takeaway
a
from
shout
that.
out to Lou Trevino, who has been lights out for the Yankees. The
Yes.
only all trade deadline acquisition who has really panned out. I
Yeah.
mean,
So far.
Benintendi's hurt and he hasn't really done much. Bader hopefully will come back eventually, but
Yeah.
Montas we talked about. I don't know.
Yeah. And going into game three,
Oh
speaking
yes,
of
yes,
Frankie Montas,
yes,
this was his best start as a Yankee. He went 5 innings, he only allowed 1 hit, 0 earned runs, and he had 7 strikeouts. That's exactly what we needed from him. I would have liked to see maybe an inning or two more,
yeah,
building him up to that. But you know what? I'm gonna take whatever I can get with him right now.
for sure.
And then of course, right when the game started, Aaron Judge hit number 53. He broke his career high. He's now only 8 away from Maris's record. It's absolutely crazy to think about.
Hmm.
But that was pretty much the majority of the scoring. Montas held the Rays.
Yeah,
And then Oswaldo Cabrera hit a sac fly, made it.
and
Yeah,
who scored on that was Aaron Judge, of course.
exactly. Yes, all 3 runs scored by Aaron Judge.
Yep.
Yeah, so Oswaldo Cabrera hit the sac fly. Montas looked great. And then I believe it was Lou Trevino who came in, who you had just talked about. He pitched 1 inning, only gave up 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 strikeouts. Exactly what you needed in that situation. Ron Marinaccio, he came in, he looked a little He only pitched a third of an inning, 1 hit, 1 walk. And then I think the biggest surprise that I've seen as of late, Jonathan Loaizaga coming in, pitching 1.2 innings, giving up 0 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. That
Yeah,
was that's
that,
huge.
that's the Loizaga we need, and like we know too when
Exactly.
he's lights out like that. We haven't
Yeah.
seen much from him ever since he came back, but I mean, he's really coming back into form.
Yeah, yeah, he did his job, and he didn't make Boone put Holmes in the 8th inning. And then going into the 9th inning, the Yankees had a 2-0 lead over the Rays. Clay Holmes comes in. He pitches exactly 1 inning. He gave up 3 hits. He let up 1 earned run, and he had 1 strikeout.
Yeah,
That was tough. It was definitely a nail biter there at the end. I kind of expected them to lose. I'm glad
yeah,
that they didn't, but they should have lost that game.
for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, they scored 2 runs. Did they only have? Oh no, they had 6 hits. I thought it was a
Mhm.
little less than that, but I mean, 2 runs on 6 hits
Yeah.
isn't supposed to win you baseball games, but
No.
the Yankees got lucky.
Yeah. They did. And I think I'm gonna give that win to Frankie Montas. He set the tone from the very beginning. It was
Oh yeah.
amazing to see. Um, yeah, and I hope he builds off this. And I know he was having those shoulder issues when he first came over. So I'm hoping that this can build him up into that, second or third starter, depending on what happens with Severino. Um, but yeah, that's the kind of Frankie Montas that we expected when he came over. So
And
it's great to see.
yeah, for sure. I mean, the pitching was pretty much on the entire series. All three starters pitched well,
Yeah,
but it
I
was just
agree.
the offense. Like, it's the same story every week. The
Hmm.
pitching has been on. They've been doing their jobs,
Yep.
with the exception of the first game, I guess, but the bullpen collapsed. But
Yeah.
his starters, for the starters at least, have done their jobs.
Yeah. Yep.
But offense just horrendous. Aaron Judge is literally the only, like, it's not an overreaction to say that Judge has been the only person on the Yankees doing good.
It's not. It's definitely not an overreaction. The kids need to play. That's one of the biggest issues I've had. Peraza is out of the lineup today against the Twins. Don't understand it. That lineup is horrendous. Um, yeah, I mean it's and now going into this Twins series, it's a 4 game set at Yankee Stadium. How are we feeling about
We say this every series, but you got to take
that?
3 out of 4.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I
If they
expect
don't,
3 out of
yeah,
4.
if they don't take 3 out of 4, it's a failure. They need
Yeah.
to get back on track. They're back home.
Hmm.
Fans are going to be rowdy. They're
Yeah.
pissed.
Yep.
Players, I'm sure, they better be pissed too. But
Yeah.
to be back in front of their home crowd against the Twins, who you historically own,
Yes.
like this needs to be the turnaround series. And we've been saying that forever, but like that this needs to be, this needs to be, this needs to be. But this is like they're back at home. Everything's set up for them to do well.
Yes.
Nestor hopefully comes back this week. Like, I don't know. I hope this is it.
Yeah.
Because if not, then I don't know anymore. I really don't
Yeah.
know.
I agree with you, man. This series, I'm expecting Aaron Hicks to come up with one of those heroic things, whatever it is,
Oh,
whether it be a home run, a diving catch, something. He
okay.
is he like he comes out of his shell against the Twins. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but he does. So, I mean, a few months ago we played the Twins at Target Field, and he hit that 8th inning home run to put the Yankees up, and then it set the tone for that hot streak that they went on. So I'm hoping, maybe a little deja vu with with Aaron Hicks, and of course we welcome back Gary Sanchez and Gio Urshela, who are
Yes,
both in the lineup for the Twins today.
that's awesome. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah,
That's very nice. Good for. Did you see Gary Sanchez almost got decapitated
I
yesterday?
did. Yeah,
It
I did see that.
was only him. Like I don't. He's just something else. That guy. But yeah. I mean, Chris Archer on Monday. So, but it doesn't even matter who they pitch at this point. The other teams, because it just if the Yankees offense can hit anybody,
Yeah,
it
we
doesn't even matter the pitching.
yeah, we know what this group is capable of. We've seen it. They went on that historic run. They need to turn this around like now. And there's not much time left. I mean, the one thing that is in the Yankees' favor is the fact that the Rays have the toughest schedule in the American League left to finish off the season. So if the Yankees just take care of their own business
Just
and
stay afloat. Like,
stay afloat, you'll cruise right into the playoffs. I shouldn't even say cruise because this is nothing short of a cruise. But yeah, so
crawl right into the playoffs.
that's yeah, that whole yeah, yeah, that's it's tough, man.
And the top of the first inning, 3 up, 3 down for Jameson Tyone. There you
There we
go.
go.
All
I
right.
like to see that.
But all right, we got to talk about real quick.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it off camera. Aaron Boone has just been off, it
Yes.
seems, this past series and maybe like for the past couple series. But he's just been not himself. I know you're not a big Boone guy as much as like I'm not a Boone guy either, but you're
Yeah.
less of a Boone guy than I am.
I am.
But
Yes.
I just think recently it's just been he's like going nuts. Like something's going on. I think he's worried about his job.
He's rattled is what it
Yeah.
is. He is completely rattled, and he wants to sit here and say, if they don't come, or if they complete the collapse like everybody's expecting them to, you're going to have a hell of a story to write, kind of thing. Like, what kind of answer is that when you're completely collapsing, losing the
Yeah.
division, losing 2 out of 3 to your division rival, who you're now only 5 games up on? Like, that's just his answers recently, and these lineups, they are so inconsistent. Like
Yeah.
I look at it as, if you are a slumping team and you want to be able to get back on track, stop putting inconsistent lineups out there. Like, you
Yeah.
you had Judge leading off yesterday and it worked.
Yeah.
Why not do it again? Or however you want to construct it, just make sure it's the same thing and play
Yeah.
the kids. That's my
Yeah.
big thing. Play the kids.
And then today you have Jose Trevino batting fifth,
Yeah. Yep. And
Oswaldo batting sixth, Glaber Torres leading off. Like
that makes
I
no
just
sense to me.
I just don't get it.
Mm,
It's just crazy. But yeah, I think he's definitely really rattled. And
he is.
I said to you, if they were to get swept by Tampa Bay, they probably wouldn't have happened. But if the Yankees were like, if Cashman or Steinbrenner were really ballsy, if they fired Aaron Boone after that past series, that would have been such a like statement. But that didn't happen because they barely won. But I feel like that I don't think that would have happened. But if they did that, I would have respected them a ton for that.
I would have as well. I don't this whole as soon as I found out Boone was returning last season, it was tough because it's like, for the last couple years, ever since we got rid of Girardi, Boone has been the puppet of Cashman and Steinbrenner ever since he's got to New York. Now, we don't know and this is another thing we talked about off camera. The We don't know what goes behind closed doors. So
Yeah,
is it all on Boone? Of course not. It's not.
yeah,
But in the public eye, it is.
right.
So he's going to be taking the blame. But as long as he keeps doing what Cash and Steinbrenner want him to do, he ain't
Yeah,
going anywhere.
yeah, exactly. It's always like Yank being the manager of the New York Yankees is always the safest manager job in baseball. It just
I
always
believe so.
is. The
Yeah.
Yankees is never like you see so many teams where managers are there for like 2, 3 years and they get the boot or
Yeah.
like consistently. But
Mhm.
the Yankees have had such few managers throughout their franchise history, like even how long their history. Oh no, Glaber just went down looking to lead off.
Of
Um,
course.
um, sorry, that just distracted me. Now I'm annoyed. But the Yankees have had very few managers, I feel, like
Mhm.
compared to other franchises, and it's just like you have a safe job when you're with the Yankees, and Boone
Yeah.
has always had a safe job.
Yep.
But we'll see after this year. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, having that 3-year contract over his head, and with a club option the 3rd year, I mean, it's tough. I mean, I really don't know anymore. At this moment, I truly believe this team wouldn't win a playoff series. 100%. I don't believe it. I mean, this offense is inconsistent. Boone at the helm is making some bonehead moves. He's getting rattled. This front office seems to be completely okay with making the playoffs. And then if they get knocked out, it's whatever because they made enough revenue because they made the
Exactly.
playoffs.
Exactly.
It's the same thing year after year. It's a collapse. I mean, and then of course, us being the optimistic Yankee fans that we are, we're gonna say it's gonna turn around. We're gonna say it's gonna be okay. But I I don't know, man. I really don't.
Yeah, it's just it's brutal. It really it's like for in the Yankees ownership, like front office wise, oh my God, I can't talk. At least what it seems like the past few years or ever since 2009, if they make the playoffs, they're like content with it.
Mhm.
They're content with not winning the World Series and just being a good enough team to just make the playoffs and be like, you know what, we did try,
Yeah.
but didn't take that next step of
Yeah.
obviously winning a World Series.
Yeah. And the thing is like, that's not good enough for Yankee fans. It's not good
No.
enough for the state of New York. I mean, you play in the biggest market in all of sports. And I hate to bring this up because I'm not one of those guys, but you
I
have the
know what you're
most
gonna say.
champion. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate saying it because we haven't won anything in over a decade. But the problem that I have is like you put this standard of being a Yankee, right? You have the most championships. You have this facial hair policy. You've had the same jerseys, tradition, everything. And you're just content with making the playoffs and then get knocked out.
Mhm.
Like you got to be gunning for a World Series every single year when you're part of the New York Yankees. It's plain and simple.
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. I don't know. It's Aaron Judge is literally the only person that is like performing well on the off on the in the lineup at least,
Yeah.
not pitching side.
Nope.
But like it brings us to our next thing, which we'll talk about for a couple more minutes. But
Yeah.
I don't see why Aaron Judge would want to stay with the Yankees at this point.
I don't. I don't. I
Like I
already
don't know if
don't.
that's an overreaction or like a very cop out, like trying to prepare for him to leave, but I don't see why really like why this is a good option for him, other than being the New York Yankees. But what does that
Yeah.
even mean at this point?
I agree. I think the whole New York Yankees like feel around
Yeah,
everything is not there anymore. I
yeah,
mean, you haven't had that feeling since Jeter retired, and of course with Mo, Pettit, and the rest of the core four, Posada.
yeah.
But you haven't had that feeling since then. And Judge as a player is, I mean, yeah, he's gonna get paid. No matter if it's from the Yankees or my pick for him to go to the San Francisco Giants. It's I completely agree with you. I don't see why he would want to stay other than maybe like being
Money.
named the captain or money, whatever it is. But it's true. I mean, we were sold on this baby bomber era. None of them worked out except for Aaron Judge.
Mhm.
I mean, it's and 2017, I thought it was our year. I thought it was, and even when we lost in the ALCS, bam, 2018. All we need is like a pitcher away, a couple pieces. And and it's been going more and more and more downhill ever since that year.
Yeah. I really thought 2019 was the year.
I did too. I did too. I think that was the most fun I've had as a Yankee fan
Yeah,
since I've followed this team.
yeah, yeah. That was it. But then 2020, last year, it was just I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's
Hopefully
been
they do
tough.
good against the Twins. Aaron Judge hit a double in the bottom of the first inning, of course,
Yeah.
as as he continues to be the only one who hits. But
Mhm.
yeah, hopefully they do good against the Twins. 3 out of 4.
Yes, I
Make it
agree.
happen.
It's got to happen.
Yeah. All right. We will be back on after the Twin series, shooting for 3 out of 4.
Yep. Let's hope for it, man.
All right. See ya.
See ya.